Welcome to Heart Attack Awareness. If you're serious about protecting your heart and preventing the #1 cause of death worldwide, you're in the right place. Every week, we bring you powerful, science-backed habits that support heart health naturally. If you're over 50 or simply want to stay ahead of cardiovascular disease, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. What you learn here could save your life or someone you love. Let's talk about a grain that's been healing hearts for over 7,000 years. It's not wheat. It's not oats. It's something you might walk right past at the store without even noticing. But this tiny seed has the potential to dramatically lower your blood pressure, reduce cholesterol, improve circulation, and give your heart the nutrients it desperately needs to stay strong. We're talking about millet. Yes, millet. It may sound like birdseed to some, but don't let that fool you. Millet is an ancient grain that's finally getting the attention it deserves, and for good reason. It's gluten-free, low on the glycemic index, and packed with heart-healing nutrients that work together to calm your blood vessels and protect your arteries from long-term damage. Let's start with blood pressure. High blood pressure, or hypertension, is known as the silent killer, because it often has no obvious symptoms but quietly increases the risk of heart attack, stroke, and heart failure. What makes millet special is that it contains both soluble and insoluble fiber, plus key minerals like magnesium and potassium, two of the most critical nutrients for keeping blood pressure in a healthy range. Magnesium helps your body regulate vascular tone, meaning it assists your blood vessels in staying relaxed and flexible. When magnesium levels are low, arteries can become stiff, increasing resistance and pressure. Potassium, on the other hand, helps balance sodium in the body. Most people consume too much sodium and not nearly enough potassium, creating a dangerous imbalance that keeps blood pressure elevated. Millet helps restore that balance naturally. A 2021 study published in Frontiers in Nutrition analyzed the results of multiple clinical trials and found that regular consumption of millet significantly reduced both systolic and diastolic blood pressure. And these weren't minor reductions. Participants saw average drops of up to 6 to 7 points in their systolic numbers. That kind of improvement can cut the risk of heart attack or stroke by as much as 20%, according to the American Heart Association. But millet doesn't stop there. It also helps lower LDL cholesterol, the bad cholesterol that contributes to plaque buildup in the arteries. This is thanks to its high fiber content, especially soluble fiber, which binds to bile acids in the digestive system and carries excess cholesterol out of the body. Over time, this process helps keep the arteries clear and reduces the likelihood of blockages that can lead to heart attacks. Millet is also rich in antioxidants, plant compounds that fight oxidative stress and inflammation. Chronic inflammation is one of the main drivers behind atherosclerosis, which is the hardening and narrowing of arteries. Antioxidants in millet, such as ferulic acid, catechins, and quercetin, help neutralize free radicals and protect your endothelial lining, the thin layer of cells that keeps your arteries functioning smoothly. What makes millet even more impressive is its low glycemic index. Unlike white rice or refined wheat products, millet doesn't cause sharp spikes in blood sugar levels. This is particularly important for people with insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes, both of which increase the risk of cardiovascular disease. Stable blood sugar means less strain on your blood vessels, more consistent energy levels, and fewer cravings for the processed foods that damage heart health in the first place. Let's pause and imagine a simple change. Instead of white rice or pasta, you add a serving of cooked millet to your plate 3 times a week. That alone brings more magnesium, more potassium, and more fiber into your system. Over weeks and months, your blood pressure begins to normalize, your arteries stay more flexible, and your cholesterol levels slowly improve, all from a humble bowl of grain. Now, you might be wondering, how do I cook millet? It's simple. Just rinse it. Then combine 1 cup of millet with 2½ cups of water. Bring it to a boil, reduce to a simmer, cover, and let it cook for 20 to 25 minutes until fluffy. You can eat it plain, mix it with herbs and olive oil, or use it as a base for stir-fries, stews, or even breakfast porridge. It's versatile, neutral in flavor, and pairs well with both sweet and savory dishes. Some people even use millet flour in place of white flour when baking. It can be used to make flatbreads, pancakes, or muffins that are not only gluten-free but far better for your heart than their processed counterparts. Let's talk real-life results. Meet Sharon, age 64. She had been on 2 different medications for high blood pressure and still wasn't getting the results she wanted. After reading about millet, she decided to try a simple experiment. She swapped white rice for millet in her meals 3 times a week and added a handful of leafy greens to each plate. In just 6 weeks, her systolic blood pressure dropped by 11 points, and she started sleeping better, too. Her doctor was impressed and eventually reduced her medication dosage. Or take Tony, age 56, who was struggling with borderline high cholesterol and digestive issues. He replaced his morning cereal with a warm bowl of millet porridge topped with cinnamon and walnuts. Over a few months, not only did his cholesterol go down, but his digestion improved, and he felt more energized throughout the day. These changes didn't require a complete diet overhaul. They started with one ingredient, millet, and consistency. You see, heart health isn't about grand gestures. It's about the daily choices you make, what you eat, how you move, how you rest. When you commit to habits that heal, the body responds. Let's take a moment to address a common myth. Grains are bad for your heart. The truth is, refined grains like white bread, pastries, and sugar-laden cereals are harmful. But whole grains, especially ancient ones like millet, quinoa, and amaranth, are beneficial when eaten in their natural state. These grains contain the full spectrum of fiber, vitamins, minerals, and plant compounds that work in harmony with your cardiovascular system. And here's another advantage of millet. It's naturally gluten-free. For people with celiac disease, gluten sensitivity, or those simply looking to reduce inflammation, millet offers a safe, nutritious, and satisfying alternative. So how do you make millet a regular part of your diet? Start with small steps. Swap out your usual grain with millet once or twice a week. Make a big batch and keep it in the fridge for quick meals. Try millet in soups, salads, or baked dishes. The key is repetition. The more often you eat heart-healthy foods, the more your body begins to adapt and heal. Let's wrap up with a heart-to-heart. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent. Adding millet to your diet isn't about trends or gimmicks. It's about reconnecting with foods that nourished generations before us, before processed meals, before artificial ingredients, before heart disease became so common. Think of millet as one more tool in your heart protection toolkit. It's not flashy, but it works. Combined with other habits like walking, deep breathing, quality sleep, and reducing stress, it becomes part of a powerful routine that strengthens your cardiovascular system from the inside out. So here's your challenge. Make millet this week. Try it 3 times. Keep it simple. Then notice how your body feels. Maybe it's your digestion, your energy, or your blood pressure numbers. Small changes lead to big results over time. And if you found this video helpful, consider sharing it with someone you care about. Your heart and theirs deserve every chance at strength and longevity. Thank you for watching Heart Attack Awareness. Don't forget to subscribe, because next week, we're diving into another powerful food that can heal your arteries and protect your heart. Until then, stay healthy, stay strong, and keep your heart beating with purpose.